While President Joe Biden makes his way through the Rose City. We were near the tarmac and brought you live pictures as the president touched down in Portland just before 6:15 tonight. From there, he made his way to Southeast Portland for a special event. Fox 12's Chandler Watkins has been following his journey through the Rose City and joins us now live from downtown Portland. Chandler.
That's right. We're here at Southwest 4th and Yamhill, where you can still see a very large police presence, several barricades that will remain up overnight here in downtown Portland. Ahead of ballots being mailed out to Oregon voters next week, the Democratic Party of Oregon says that the president joined more than 100 grassroots Democrats at an event where they made thousands of phone calls trying to rally support. Soon after President Biden landed in Portland this evening, he headed to a phone bank, speaking to grassroots activists making phone calls for Tina Kotek, the Democratic candidate for governor. The Democratic Party of Oregon states that, quote, activists made more than 10,000 calls while Biden made remarks. He then made his way across the river into downtown Portland for the night. We caught the presidential motorcade crossing the Ross Island Bridge and heading into southwest downtown. Earlier this week, authorities announced that there will be roads closed off and transit delays as the president remains in town. In downtown Portland, Taylor and Yamhill streets are closed from Broadway to 4th Avenue. And 5th and 6th are also closed to Salmon and Morrison through 6 p.m. Saturday. TriMet states that services to the blue and red lines will be disrupted in downtown as late as 6 p.m. Saturday as well, and the MAX line between PDX and the Gateway Transit Center should see delays tomorrow as well. President Biden is expected to make remarks here in Portland before heading out to Delaware from PDX. Live in downtown Portland, Chandler Watkins, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Chandler, thank you. And why we didn't hear from the president today, as Chandler mentioned, he is expected to speak during an event tomorrow. Fox 12's Washington, D.C. bureau reporter Jamie Bittner has a look ahead to the president's speech in the Rose City.
On Saturday, the president plans to give a speech on saving American families money. But with weeks to go before the election, the question is whether he can give Democrats a boost to keep the state blue. As voters are about to pick who they want to send to Washington, D.C. and to the governor's office in Salem, the White House tells me the president is focused on one thing.
The president's focusing on helping families to help families and to make sure that they have what they need to get by.
So he'll be talking about kitchen table issues like the economy and lowering prescription drug costs, while touting the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act.
It caps the price of insulin at $35 a month for our seniors. He'll talk about that in Portland. He'll talk about how we're putting a $2,000 cap in on the price of out-of-pocket that folks have to pay for their prescription drugs.
Yet you can expect that speech to also highlight how his plan differs from Republicans.
And I get the sense that Republicans, especially in Oregon, are really excited and fired up about this election because they have the opportunity to win the governor's mansion for the first time in 40 years.
Political expert Ben Gaskin expects the president to rally Democrats and independents to vote as he takes on that big issue, the economy.
And so it's a huge concern. And it's something that I think the president wants to take the lead on and not just give that issue over to the Republican side, but to articulate a vision of what he and his party is doing in Congress to try to address inflation, to address gas prices.
President Biden is expected to meet with several candidates as well as he's in Oregon. In Washington, I'm Jamie Bittner.
We spoke with Fox 12's political analyst about the president's stop in Oregon. He says this is a very competitive election year in a state that usually votes blue.
I don't think that the fact that President Joe Biden here, people are going to think, oh, God, I got to vote for Tina Kotek. But his ability to raise money, that money can be used to get out vote efforts.
John Horvick says Republicans this year see an opportunity to capitalize on after decades of Democratic leadership. Republican gubernatorial candidate Christine Drazan is countering President Biden's appearance with a visit from Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin next week.
Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, has a high profile and I think a strong base of support among Republicans. And so if she can get her voters to be looking the other way, that's probably to her benefit.
Recent polling through Horvick's firm DHM Research found Kotek is behind Republican Christine Drazan. You can get the very latest on the president's trip tomorrow right here on air, as well as the Fox 12 News app and at kptv.com.